to do their 15-minute demo. So welcome.
Awesome. Awesome. Hopefully everyone can see my screen.
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. First off, thank you, Amy, and the ISV team or I should say the ISV Society team for hosting us today. My name is Annie Benavides, and I'm the Director of Business Development here at GoFormz, and I'm also joined by our co-founder, Jonathan McIntyre, who will be leading us in on the demo today. A little bit about GoFormz, just as our platform. We are an advanced startup founded back in 2012. We've got about 70 employees, and we've got over 4,000 customers found in over 150 different countries. I would say one of our biggest differentiators is the fact that we've got 5 patents on the technology for our customers to use their own existing paper-based form and actually upload that into GoFormz and really, really bring that paper-based form to life. And we're going to talk about what that means in a second. And of course, you'll see that highlighted in the demo here. Like I mentioned, that ability to upload your existing paper-based form is really sort of the bread and butter of the GoFormz platform. But what also sets us apart is our open API to really connect to different systems of record and powerful ones like Acumatica to really sort of bring that data and technology to life. So I'm going to go ahead and cruise through these slides because we do only have about 15 minutes, but there's a lot of benefits of the Acumatica and GoFormz integration, but I would have to say that these are going to be the top 5. The ability to generate and pre-populate forms from Acumatica and also from your form to GoFormz is actually very powerful. But the last one too, the ability to actually leverage your Acumatica data while going offline via GoFormz is also very powerful. So we're going to talk about what that means too. Of course, if you have questions, there is going to be a QR code that you can scan and learn a little bit more about how you can connect with Jonathan and myself. But I think this is a pretty good segue for him to actually go and walk us through the platform. Let me go ahead and stop share here. Jonathan, the floor is yours.
All right. Is everyone able to see my screen?
Yes.
Perfect. So Andy mentioned that, most of our customers come to us because they're trying to get rid of paper and they want to integrate that with Acumatica. But we are seeing a lot of customers that may be running some sort of process in Excel. They might want to convert that Excel file, including the formulas, into GoFormz. Maybe they're using processes in Word docs or emails, or maybe they don't even have a form. GoFormz can support those use cases as well. But regardless of what path the customer is coming from, the first step is to build a template within GoFormz. So you could hit that build button. That takes you to a couple of options to get started. You could upload the PDF, which becomes the background of the form, and you're overlaying fields on top of it. Or you could start from scratch, which is more of your traditional mobile app builder experience. Think something like Power Apps or the like. Once you have that PDF uploaded, or you start building the fields, you notice that there's all these different data types on the left. So you have this drag and drop process where you can overlay the fields onto the background of the PDF, or at least like define the field that you want to use to capture the data. Then you can start running calculations on all of these fields to create automations to force users through the correct gates, if you will, so that when we want to run those Acumatica automations downstream, that data is sanitized, it's accurate, and it's good to go. Once this template is built, then you can fill this out on mobile offline disconnected environments like Annie was saying, on iOS, Android, and Windows 10. So if you download those apps, you can access all the functionality of the form in that offline scenario. So what you're really doing when you're building a template is you're defining kind of like a custom object of all the different fields, all the different pieces of data that you want to capture. And then that's what we're mapping back and forth between Acumatica. So just want to give a little bit of background of what happens in the setup process with GoFormz. But let's go over to Acumatica, and we're going to trigger an event to fire based off of a push notification within Acumatica. So our integration with Acumatica can do a ton of different things. We're just going to show one use case. This is kind of targeted toward field service, but across the whole Acumatica ecosystem, we see applications with manufacturing. I was on a call with a distributor recently that's wanting to use forms to help their process if they don't have something in their inventory as a sellable item. Bringing GoFormz in to be able to automate the creation of stock items and whatnot so that when they run their sales orders, they can fill all of that out. So what GoFormz really becomes is almost an extension for all the customizability. You can push some of that to GoFormz, so you're not having to be as involved on the heavy Acumatica customization front. So going back to this use case, we've triggered um, a push notification to Fire based off of the workflow stage. So if I go over to the GoFormz Forms tab, this has all happened behind the scenes. We've received the webhook notification. We mapped the fields on this particular Acumatica appointment to the fields on the form. So you see all those headers pre-populated, and then as you start interfacing with the form, we notice that it's running calculations down here. How many were yes, how many were no, and if there's a certain number of no's, then it's going to actually automatically fail this out. So this is based off of that Excel-based calculation engine that we have built into our platform. Again, all those calculations can happen offline. They fill out all of the rest of this information, capture signatures, fill in dates, all that good stuff, even capture the photos if necessary to be able to document the work that's happened out in the field. And then once they hit complete, we're able to run these workflows in real time to send data back over to Acumatica. So here's an example where we see a whole bunch of information that we've sent over to Acumatica. Here's the forms that have been completed for this particular appointment. And you have even a clickable link to the form. This is just a little customization that we added into our Acumatica environment. So we have like a custom object for storing these records. But really the key is we can map to any field within Acumatica just so long as it's properly exposed through the Acumatica Web Services endpoint. So I'm going to show that behind the scenes very quickly here. We have these different connectors. We're talking about Acumatica today. But once you have that connection established, then you're able to go into a workflow and start interacting with that Acumatica data. So let's say, for example, I want to add some data, write some data back into Acumatica. I'm able to select the endpoint that I want to connect to. And this is really the exciting piece about the GoFormz integration, because this is what brought us to Acumatica in the first place. Because Acumatica has a custom data model, that's what gives us the confidence to be able to say we can integrate with any object within Acumatica, just so long as it's been exposed properly. So in this case, I'm selecting the appointment. It's dynamically reaching into that Acumatica metadata, and I can start saying, like, here's the particular properties that I want to set. And I could pass in the entity ID from the form, and then I'm literally just going through and setting up all of these mappings here. And so what we're actually seeing is customers are even starting to use the GoFormz platform to create some sort of triggering event within Acumatica, send that over to GoFormz, and then have GoFormz just create Acumatica objects or update Acumatica records without needing a full Acumatica customization. And in some of those cases, a form isn't even part of the equation. So really this whole workflow editor and builder and automation platform is a huge piece of the Acumatica integration. There's a lot more we could show, but I think the main takeaway is don't get so caught up on just the fact that this is a field service use case. We're just showing some of the moving pieces that make GoFormz and Acumatica really a perfect pair. GoFormz is an incredibly customizable platform. We don't know the first field for the first form until a customer comes to us, and then we can map those back and forth with your Acumatica objects. You can keep your Acumatica objects clean and pristine, and then push some of those customizations over to GoFormz, where end users get involved in the building process. Like we see the operations folks start getting involved with building these templates, so it doesn't have to be such a technical chore. By bringing the business people along into the process, it greatly increases the chances of success when an organization is really trying to do full digital transformations.
Yep. So Jonathan, if you want to go ahead and stop share, I've got a slide to really articulate all the benefits. Awesome. Thank you very much. Let me go ahead and reshare my screen. Boom, boom. Okay, let's get into this. So like Jonathan just mentioned, we are a very configurable platform. And while this is not an exhaustive list by any means, these are some of the top use cases that GoForm sees every day in and day out. Some of the top ones are going to be construction, energy, field service, and manufacturing, a lot of what Jonathan had just mentioned in the demo. But a lot of folks come to us and they want to go through a digital transformation effort, and we can help sort of identify what's the easiest path to really benefit from the GoFormz and Acumatica integration. So I'll leave this up for just a few moments here. And again, if you want to connect with us, learn a little bit more about the integration, please feel free to leverage this QR code here. It'll take you directly to our page on our website. And yeah, Jonathan and I are, like I said, very thankful to be included in this conversation today. We look forward to continuing conversations as we see fit. Always happy to chat and learn a little bit more about, future customers, future partners. We're here and happy to help.